welcome back to the Burrow. I'm Hillary, your resident fragrance-loving muggle. So I got tagged. My friend Matt over at Gent tagged me in the 3 for 3 challenge, and I believe that was started by Lizzie over at Rose & Jones. And basically this tag means that we pick 3 of our favorite notes in fragrances, and then 3 fragrances that fit into each of those categories. So that makes 9 fragrances overall. So if you want to hear what mine are, stick around. So for my first note, I have plum, and I absolutely love the juiciness that plum provides to so many fragrances. So the first fragrance I have that features plum is Single Malt by Kilian. Now this fragrance has notes of plum, wheat, cedar, tolu balsam, and somehow it blends to make a beautiful whiskey fragrance. It is very, very close to being like super realistic. So if I'm going to be driving and I know that it's going to be during a time of the year where you're likely to get pulled over, I might not wear this fragrance, but it's great to wear to parties. It's great to just wear when I want to be at home and just kind of feel cozy. This is a beautiful fragrance. One of my favorites by Kilian. Okay, my second plum fragrance is Violet Disguise by Imaginary Authors. Now this fragrance is discontinued, but this fragrance features mostly plum, violet, and some dried fruits and resins. It is probably, it's mostly resinous, but it does have this juicy sweetness behind it, and then just a little bit of greenness from the violet. A beautiful fragrance. I don't know, not many people talk about Violet Disguise, but it's really, really good. If you can find it, definitely try to get a hold of it. It's not very easy to come by these days. And my third plum fragrance, hard to say. My third plum fragrance is Forbidden Games, also by Kilian. Now, this fragrance, completely different than Single Malt. This is a bright fragrance. This is floral and fruity. It has notes of apple, peach, cinnamon, plum, geranium, rose. It's almost like a cocktail, kind of, even with the florals. But for some reason, when I spray it on my skin, it almost pulls like a banana pudding kind of smell if it was made out of flowers. I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but definitely get your nose on this one. A really, really interesting fragrance, and definitely different than many other fragrances in the Kilian line. My second favorite note in most fragrances is rose. The more rose, the better, especially if it's jammy. So my first fragrance I have is Oud Satin-Mood by Maison Kurkdjian. This fragrance has notes of rose, vanilla, benzoin, oud. It literally smells like, almost like a pixie stick with a beautiful vanilla undertone. This fragrance is absolutely beautiful. Definitely, I consider this fragrance to be a modern masterpiece. I can't get enough of it. This bottle will probably last me for a lifetime because one spray is basically all I need. So it is absolutely beautiful. It's Oud Satin-Mood by Maison Kurkdjian. My second rose fragrance is Parfait de Roses by Maison Lancome. So this is just a travel atomizer for it, but so I called Oud Satin-Mood like a pixie stick with vanilla underneath. This is basically like your spring and summer alternative to Oud Satin-Mood. This definitely is a bright, really jammy, rosy pixie stick. It has notes of, I think it has liquor, rose, pink pepper. That pink pepper even adds to the freshness in this fragrance. It is just beautiful. The whole Maison Lancome line is absolutely outstanding. This is definitely one of my favorites though. So that is Parfait de Roses by Maison Lancome. And my third rose fragrance is Parfums de Delina. Now this fragrance has notes of lychee, rose, rhubarb, vanilla. It is a beautiful fresh rose fragrance. I haven't smelled anything like this out there. I absolutely love this fragrance. There is also the Delina exclusive. I personally prefer the original just because it is fresh, and it's one of those fragrances that when I smell it, it literally just makes me happy. Like, you can't smell rhubarb and not smile, basically. So yeah, this is one of those fragrances that just lifts your spirit no matter what. So my third favorite note in fragrances is almond. Now, I typically like almond when it goes more sweet. Anytime almond brings that metallic vibe to it, I usually stay away from it, but sweeter almond nuances are definitely my thing. So I have Maison Lancome's Jasmins Marzipane. Now this fragrance definitely turns jasmine just slightly gourmand. It's just almond and jasmine and a little bit of sandalwood. It's just a really happy, clean fragrance. I'm not usually into white florals very often, but the addition of the almond and the sandalwood to this one just makes it so wearable and so pleasant. I actually have plans to feature this in an upcoming Fragrant Fictions video, so definitely be looking out for that. Next, I have Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. Now, this fragrance is amazing. I think I've mentioned before I like to layer this fragrance with Baccarat Rouge 540, but even just on its own, it is gorgeous. This fragrance has notes of cherry, liqueur, almond, tolu balsam. It is just a beautiful, I want to say jammy cherry, but I don't know if you can really say that. It is just a beautiful sweet cherry, but after about an hour or so, it really just dries down into this this just soft and sweet almond, and it is just gorgeous on the skin. This is definitely one of those fragrances that I will have my whole life because I'm obsessed. If I ever hear that they're going to discontinue it, I'll probably sell a kidney and try to get the biggest bottle I can. And last but not least, my last almond fragrance is Maison Lancome's Iris Dragées. And this fragrance is a beautiful gourmand take on iris. It is basically like you took iris and wrapped it up in just a sticky almond and turned it into a little cookie, and that's what you get. Absolutely gorgeous. Obviously I like the Maison Lancome line quite a bit, but they really know what they're doing when it comes to gourmand fragrances, and it is what it is. I'm a bit of a gourmand. I think I've mentioned that before too. So yeah, those were my 9 fragrances. So I think I'm supposed to tag more people. I probably should have messaged them and made sure it was okay, but fuck it, I'm gonna tag him anyway. So I'm gonna tag Josh at ScentSense because he's back making videos again. Definitely check him out if you haven't before. I'm gonna tag Cherie at TheTopNote. She's a new reviewer. She has a PhD in chemistry. Like, she's cool. She's really, really cool. She only has a couple videos out so far, but she just seems totally down to earth and really nice. And I'll tag Kristen at Beauty Meow. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in to my 3 for 3 video, and hope to see y'all again soon. Bye!